Well, welcome back. It is the final event of the conference, and I don't know who's more excited, me for surviving a conference and all of you for hanging in here with us. You know, this is honestly one of the most amazing things, to be able to honor those of you in the work and to be able to do awards that come from your peers, and to be able to celebrate the work that you do and knowing that you're being recognized by people who look to you in your greatest moments and are there when we struggle the most. And I'm really, really excited about it. I also have to say I am so appreciative that Bob Dalton is joining us again.
Yeah, Bob!
Bob? For those of you that know Bob, he does deserve that. I'm just going to tell you, right? He is the founder of Sackcloth and Ashes, and we're going to do just a quick little introduction after we hear from our chair of our County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Nora Vargas.
Buenas tardes. How excited are you? I mean, come on. You've all been working so hard, right? So I'm really happy to be back. How many of you were here last year? Do you all remember what I told you to do last year? Oh, pues. I thought you were super excited when we had a whole conversation about, remember when I told you to stop doing what wasn't working? Don't you remember that? And I told you we were going to do things differently? ¿No se acuerdan? And I thought I gave such an inspirational speech. Anyway, so buenas tardes, good afternoon. It's so wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces, and I am so honored to be here with all of you. Nora Vargas, Chair of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, and as all of you know, I am really proud of the work that we're doing at the County of San Diego. Where are my County of San Diego folks? Eso! Can you all give them a big round of applause? These are our unsung heroes, because when the Board of Supervisors changed a couple of years ago, we've spent over $1 billion just on transforming behavioral health in the County of San Diego. And we keep introducing board letter after board letter after board letter. As you all know, Governor Newsom and the state legislature, and you'll hear from our esteemed Pro Tem Toni Atkins, she's still my Pro Tem, and you'll hear all the great work that's happening in Sacramento and the implementation of what we have to do on the county side, and they keep doing the work. And they're doing fantastic work, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but I just want to say thank you to our county team, because they really, truly are exceptional folks, and they do it with so much corazón, right, and passion and commitment to really try to make sure that our communities get the resources that they need, and they are really thinking outside the box, and I'll tell you some of the successes in a minute. But I want to congratulate the organizers of the conference for everything that you do. I want to thank Bob Dalton and your organization, Sackcloth and Ashes, for your efforts to help clothe our unsheltered neighbors, especially during these winter months. I also want to acknowledge and thank my dear friend Tamara for, where are you? She was behind me. There she is. Thank you for everything that you do, and I keep calling her about, what about this and what about that, and are you sure we are going to be able to house every veteran and get to zero net, right? I had to learn about that, because I said, are you sure? Because I don't lie to people. And she said, no, we can do that. And I'll tell you where we are with that, because I'm really excited about where we are. But when we talked about what we were going to do last year, and when I was here, you know, I said that we really needed to think about how we do things differently. And it's very important to me that we really think outside the box, and we really think about how we really implement this work and do it differently. So our county team and over 20 stakeholders came together, and we came up with something called the Framework to End Veterans Homelessness in San Diego County. And I am super excited to tell you that when we started this program, we were able to identify, not excited that we identified them, but I'm excited to share the success of this program, because there were over 800 veterans that were unsheltered as of when we started the program. And since the program was launched, we've been able to actually house 270 veterans, permanently housed. And why that's important is because this morning I was at a UDW conference, and I shared that with the folks there, and this gentleman came up to me and he said, Supervisor Vargas, when I was walking down, he said, you know, I'm a veteran and I'm homeless, can you help me? And that touched my heart, right? Because that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Because no matter how much we talk about things in the newspaper, no matter how much we talk about gathering data, no matter how much we talk about policies, we're talking about real people. And the people who are in the streets, the people who are trying to day-to-day just survive, these are real human beings. Our family members, people who are trying just to get food on their table, people who are just trying to get a good quality of life. And so today when I met Alonso was his name, I'm like, we're gonna help you. We're gonna try to make sure we find you a home. And so I'm gonna put everybody in the county to make sure that we find Alonso a permanent home. But we're doing that with not just our veterans, but we're doing it, and the part about it is that it's not just temporary shelter, it's actually permanent housing, and I think to me that's really important. Last year, the Board of Supervisors also allocated $5 million to support seniors who were in the brink of homelessness, because prevention is so important. And then we were able to expand the program this year with another $2 million to support another 100 seniors, right? And to make sure that we join forces with the City of San Diego and our Housing Commission, and we secured $20.75 million to bring additional 75 permanent supportive housing. And so when I told you last year we were gonna start doing things differently, we are doing things differently. And yes, you know, we received $22 million to support encampment outreach efforts along the San Diego River in the jungle. And I want to tell you this story because, yes, my county team is excited about that, because we hear a lot of folks in Bonita and in Chula Vista. Anybody here from the South Bay? You know where Plaza Bonita is, right? So if you know that community, and if you've been there, and if you haven't been there, you need to go. You need to go buy tacos over there, because we have a lot of really good food in South Bay. But in that community, right, for a long, long time, people, the school district, you know, Sweetwater School District, people would say they actually have programs of people going into the jungle and providing services to the kids in the jungle. And they dije yo, bueno, pero ¿cómo es posible? I'm like, and maybe I just think too much, but I was like, why are there unsheltered kids in the jungle? And so I asked both of the mayors from National City and Chula Vista, who both, by the way, have been in elected office for decades. And I said, excuse me, why haven't you made this a priority? And why haven't we ever talked about this from a different perspective of we should not have unsheltered people in the jungle? Why is this a norm? And they both looked at me and they're like, oh, well, nobody's ever asked. So when I said we're going to talk about things and doing things differently, that's what I meant. So now we were able to get $5 million from the governor, and we're going to be able to make sure that we do everything we can to take everybody out of the jungle. Because people deserve to live in a home with permanent and be living with dignity and respect. And so I'm excited about that and what it's going to look like. And my team in the county has been doing a wonderful job to build the trust with those members and those folks who live in that community. And we're not going in there and we're not sweeping them off and telling them, vámonos ya, bye. No, we're actually going in there, talking to them, giving them resources, building the trust that they need so that we can find them the homes that they need so that they end up in a home that they need. And then Last but not least, I think all of you know that we've been very committed. We're the first county out of 7 counties in the state of California to embrace Care Court. There was a lot of conversation about what that would look like. We're one of the first pilot programs. It's not perfect, but I can tell you that like the Oceanside Police Department has been working really closely with us. We've been able to create a system. We kicked it off in October. It's working. We still are doing the best we can so that we can have everything we need. We're going to get it right, and our county's committed to making sure we are at the forefront so that we have everything that we need so that the families who have been suffering for so long make sure that their family members also have the resources and the services that they need so that they can take care of themselves. And then I think, last but not least, I think all of you heard that yesterday we had a really long board meeting that ended at 10 o'clock at night related to SB 43, which is, the legislation that was passed by the governor in his and the California legislature to really expand what it's going to look like, right, when you're talking about this ability to really think about the future of conservatorship looks like. And so every county has up to 2 years to be able to implement this program. And I think all of us, right, all of us want to make sure that anybody who's in a situation where they need help and they need assistance, we want them to get that assistance. All of you are on the front lines, and all of you help people every day, and you want to make sure that they're in a program that they can get help. But we know right now that if we put somebody in an emergency room, all that's going to happen is that they're going to get stuck in that emergency room, and there's going to be a revolving door, and the same old happens. And so the compromise was that we're going to be able to implement it in January 2025. Some people are happy, some people are not happy, but that's the job that we have to do when we govern, right? Not everybody's going to be happy, but it's going to be, I think, the most important way of doing this work, which is we're going to bring everybody together. We're going to have a work group. Everybody loves work groups, right? And we're going to be able to actually, but if you work with me, you know we're going to get shit done, right? And we're going to get it done because in the end, we're talking about real people. We're talking about family members and hospitals, ERs. We're going to get people trained, right? Because we want firefighters, we want police officers. We want all of you to be part of it, and we want to make sure the people who are providers are there at the table, and then we're going to be asking for money from our legislators to make sure that we have the resources that we need so that we have the beds, the programs, and the things that people need so that they can take care of themselves and their families as well. So I am very hopeful about what it looks like as we are reimagining what behavioral health looks like in the county of San Diego, what it looks like for our families, and what behavioral health looks like as we're moving forward. Así que vamos a seguir trabajando para que cuando tengamos estos programas, sean programas que tengan esa diversidad, programas que en realidad cuiden a nuestras comunidades, programas que entiendan la diversidad de la cultura de la comunidad y que entiendan la importancia de en realidad cuidar a las comunidades por lo que necesitan. Muy agradecida con todos ustedes y con el trabajo que hacen. And now, why I'm really here is because I have the honor to have the opportunity to present to one of my sheroes the Lifetime Achievement Award for her efforts to address and end homelessness. I don't think there's anyone who's more deserving than the Pro Tem, Tony Atkins, for this award. I've had the honor of knowing her for many years when I first started out as a community activist, and now to be able to get to work next to her is kind of like, when you're a kid and you just start out and you're like, oh my God. And so now I get to actually work with her, and I get to go to meetings, and when you're like, oh my God, she knows my name, that's the kind of cool stuff. It's really exciting, and I'm not trying to be silly, but she has been a trailblazer. As somebody who started in the women's rights movement, to me, to see someone who has really is a statesperson, right? And being able to bring so many people together from very different perspectives and being able to get things done and has done it as a council member, as a mayor, as a council member. I wanted to be mayor. As a council member, as the state center has broken every, has trailblazed at every level as a speaker and as a pro tem, and has just done so many different things in the legislature and in council, and has secured so much funding for our communities, and particularly for the programs, for the California Dream for All programs, to make homeownership available, and doesn't shy away for any fight on any fights that's going to not only help the state of California, but has never forgotten about our San Diego community. It is really, really, truly my honor to be here with all of you, and to really say that it is my privilege to welcome one of my Shiro's ally, friend, partner, Senate President Pro Tem Toni Atkins, to the stage, and to honor her with the Champion Award. Wow. We took a picture now? No.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. The last event of the last day of what I've been told has been an incredible, incredible conference. Let me thank my longtime friend. We've worked together for decades. Back at you. We have done some incredible things in women's health, and it's just an honor to see you in the role that you are in, leading the County Board of Supervisors. That has been a sea change, let me tell you. And Tamara, to you and the Regional Task Force, and to each and every person out there with whatever hat you wear, let me just say thank you. It's really kind of humbling and an honor to be in a room full of people who are doing the frontline work each and every day. And so I want to thank you. When I got here this morning, I'd read one of the articles about the conference, or when I got here this afternoon, I'd read one of the articles, and I was a little worried because I've been doing some of this work for about 23 years. I was on the San Diego City Council. I was on the Regional Task Force for the Homeless before it was the force of nature that it is today. I remember when I'm like, what is this board that the mayor has appointed me to, and when do we get to work? And what you're doing today is incredible. So I want to thank you. To get a Lifetime Achievement Award, number one, I'm not done. I just want to, for the record, I'm not done. But what we have been able to do, I learned it here on the ground in San Diego. As a staff member to an elected official at the City of San Diego, I fought to be able to do the housing policy. It was given to someone else, and I said, no, I want to do it. And my time in the City Council, I was really proud to represent an inner city district that really approved and supported more low-income and affordable housing than anywhere else in the city. I was honored to work with SDOP and housing advocates to get the first inclusionary housing policy in San Diego. And to your point, sometimes you don't get what you want immediately when you talked about implementing SB 43 and 23. I never even remember my own bill numbers. It's what the bill does that's important, and is there money attached? Let me be clear. But, sometimes you have to collaborate and compromise in order to get things done. And that first inclusionary housing policy was not everything I wanted. But we did it in the city of San Diego at a time when we didn't have non-Democrats or people who supported housing. So I was incredibly proud of that. Proud to work with all of you to get more money for funding. When I think about what we've been able to do working together, I could never do this without people who are pushing, pushing, always pushing to get more policies in place that do the work on the ground, that, to the supervisor's point, helps real people. You know, I grew up in a house with no running water. Sometimes we didn't have electricity. Sometimes it was cold. We didn't have lights. I had to do homework before it got dark. But I always had a roof over my head. And there's something about having a structure around you that gives you what you need to be successful or hope to be successful in life. Housing is a foundation. And so, to me, I just consider it an honor to have been able to do any of this work. And I will say this, I started and then got carried away in another discussion. When I came here this afternoon, I was worried looking at the numbers that you are housing people, and yet more people are falling into homelessness than we're able to help. It feels, and it sort of is worse than it's ever been in terms of our challenges. And yet I was worried that you would be disheartened. I was worried that maybe the room I would walk into would feel down. And then I walked in and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 1,000 people here, and everybody seems to be really energized. So I'm thrilled, because what I wanted to tell you is this: while it seems daunting, you know, we've made incredible progress, but what we need to see is that progress implemented in a way that does a number of things. We are changing regulation at the state to allow for more density. We are changing regulation to make sure that we are going to be able to build housing. That is a key issue to finding units of housing for every level of need. And we need every level of housing to be built, from the lowest income to the missing middle, as we now call it. We need every level of housing. And I have been proud to be at the state when there was a shift. When I got there, I wanted to be a chair of housing. That's why I went to the state assembly. I wanted to be chair of the housing committee to talk about what we needed to do on housing. I started a select committee on homelessness. And nobody was interested until the crisis became acute to middle-class Californians. And when it hit those of us, you know, now with the benefit to be sort of middle class, that's when it became real and serious. But you know what? We spent 30 years not building housing. 30 years. And now we are going to have to stay focused and intentional about implementation of the policies we put into place to require more density, more building, and more affordability. We're going to have to stay intentional and focused. We've put more money at the state level into housing than ever before, way more than was available through redevelopment, those of you that remember redevelopment and 20% set aside. We've put way more money into building housing. We've put way more money into homelessness. It doesn't feel like it right now. And people up and down, you know, our state are like, what are you doing? Well, we're doing it, but you don't necessarily yet feel the impact, because we got to work our way out of this 30 years of not having built the units of housing we need to ensure that everybody can have an affordable, decent, quality place to live. And you've made that possible. And then to the supervisor's point, the resources and money around behavioral health, changing some of the policies that may feel a little controversial to ensure that we are helping those who need it the most. And you know, I remember the stories. I loved being a city council member, and I was acting mayor, that's what for a few critically difficult months. But I will never forget the story, and I'll leave you with this, because there are more people who really deserve to be up here getting recognized than me. But I remember the woman who called, lived on Texas Street in North Park, and she was always angry, you know, always angry. And I took her call every single time. A few years after that, I saw her name in an article in the paper, and her son had been killed, death by cop. He was mentally ill, and welded a knife and now was dead. And he was in his late 30s. So it occurred to me, I've never forgotten this story. Here was a mother, to the point of the piece of legislation that you grappled with until 10:30 last night, guardianship. Here is a woman who had a 38, 39-year-old son, and she was struggling to figure out how to help her son who had a mental health issue. And this was what ultimately happened. So never doubt that the work that we do, however hard, however controversial with some, that we're not trying to find new ways to be helpful to people in communities that are really striving to help their family members, striving to have a home. The work we do is so important, and I couldn't be more proud to be in this fight every single day, doing the work at the state that I can do with some incredible colleagues, by the way. Susan Eggman is the author of that bill, and some other colleagues doing the work that we need to do to back you up on the work that you're doing every single day. So let me just thank you and say we've got more work to do, but I know we're up to the task. I know that we can. I know that we will. This is a commitment of love, not only for ourselves, but for our family members, our community, and the people who deserve better. And we are the ones responsible to make that happen. So thank you so much for this incredible honor. I look forward to hearing about the others who are being recognized today. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Two amazing trailblazing women that motivate, inspire, but also don't stop. And so thank you. Thank you for letting us honor you. Thank you for your continued commitment. We just love you deeply. I mean, and I think we need to be willing to be people of heart and say that, this is about people, and it's okay to say, I love you deeply. Thank you so much. So Bob, let's go ahead and do these awards, and I'm going to have you join me up here. I'm going to ask Bob, I've had the opportunity to know him for a number of years, a little pre-pandemic, worked through the pandemic, and many of you know I am a person of why. Why do we do this? What are our purpose? And try to surround myself with people who understand their why and put it into action. And the reason not only do I have just great, deep love and appreciation for Bob. He is a gentle giant, and his organization does these amazing blankets that we give as to our awardees. But I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to say a little bit about your why, and why these blankets are so important and are part of not only the awards that you're receiving, but I want you to know what goes into the making of these blankets, because it's more than the materials. It's Bob's heart and the reason he does it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll just share real quick that I was, many of you may have heard my story before, but I was the guy that would drive by folks on the street and whisper under my breath, go get a job. And for many years, I was passionate and cared about many social issues, but homelessness was not one of them because I could wrap my mind around all the other issues. If somebody needs food, you get them food. If a woman, gets swept up in sex trafficking, that's a problem. Homelessness, it was I'm seeing people beg, right outside of a McDonald's, and I'm like, why don't you just go into a McDonald's and apply for a job? That was my mindset. And then in 2013, my mom ended up spiraling out. She lost her mother and her brother and ended up becoming an alcoholic and losing her house. And through a series of events, ended up trying to start her life over by moving across the United States from Oregon to Florida. And she thought her aunt would take her in. Her aunt didn't take her in, and so she ended up sleeping on beaches and benches. And so my own mother became homeless. And so it completely changed my paradigm of how I view and understand homelessness, because my mom is the hardest working woman that I know. She managed restaurants and waitressed just to pay the bills to raise my sister and I as a single mother. And so for her to end up in that situation completely changed me. And it inspired me to do something about homelessness, so I started calling homeless shelters in my area to see what they wanted and needed, and they said blankets. And so I came up with the idea, for every blanket that we sell, we'll donate a blanket to your local homeless shelter. And that's when I started Sackcloth and Ashes. Sackcloth and ashes is ancient Jewish symbolism, which means mourning and repentance. So the idea was, every time somebody wraps themselves in a blanket, it symbolizes mourning over the homeless population and repentance by contributing to a shelter in your area. So fast forward, 5 years into 2018, and the company had grown, and we're selling blankets and donating blankets all around the United States. And I started doing what's called a blanket drop, where I'd go and visit a homeless shelter or program and donate blankets in person and get to learn about their program. And one of the programs I went to was Shepherd's Door, which is a women's program up in Portland. And I was just doing my normal thing, passing out blankets, sharing the story, getting to share with the women in the program. And the people that worked at Shepherd's Door came to me and they said, "Hey, where's your mom now?" And I'm like, she's in and out of rehabs. She's still a hardcore alcoholic. She's in and out of hospitals at this point. And I just had moved her back to Oregon, and just because I thought, she's at the tail end of her life, she had maybe a couple years left. And they said, "Well, can you get her here? We have 38 out of 40 slots filled in our program. Is there a chance that, you can get her here for an interview?" And if you guys have dealt with, an addict in your family or a friend or anything, you're like, "I'll see." You're not sure. And so I drove to where she was at. I opened up my car door and I was like, "Mom, I think there's an opportunity for you to change your life. And I think this is probably your last opportunity. And I need you to know that if you don't get in my car, I'm going to support you to the end. And so, this is an opportunity for you to maybe have a second chance." And she got in my car. And I took her to Shepherd's Door. She got into the program, and after 1 year, she graduated the program a year sober, and then stayed another year. And then after 2 years of being there, Shepherd's Door hired her on staff, which is run by the Portland Rescue Mission. They hired her on staff. She worked there for a couple years, and now she's working full-time at a detox facility up in Portland, Oregon, and she's healthier than I am. And yeah. And so, she's, 5 years sober on November 1st, and it's an absolute miracle. And as many of you know, it's extremely difficult when you're dealing with an addict in your family or a friend or even just somebody that you've grown really close to as a client. And, I think that her story is a testament of the work that you all do. Because if Shepherd's Door didn't exist, as much as I had my own thoughts on the program or Portland Rescue Mission and all the politics and everything that's goes into it, it saved my mom's life. And so, programs, whether it's meeting the immediate need of somebody or transitional programs or being involved in the housing, it doesn't matter what tier that you're in, that you're serving in, it all matters, and you're saving lives. And so I'm really grateful, and will dedicate the rest of my career, my life, to advocating for solutions in communities and people doing amazing advocacy and stepping up for their own communities. So really grateful for everything you guys are doing in San Diego, and have nothing but love and support for what you all do.
So now that you know Bob's why, we're going to go through the awards, and they are going to receive an award and also a blanket. These awards are nominated from your peers. We had over 140 individuals nominated, so that really tells you how great everybody thinks each other are doing, and they understand the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into what you do. All of these nominees go above and beyond, and we know that. And then taking all those nominations and determining who those winners were was really hard. It was fun to read what everybody wrote, but it also, we did it through who gets the most votes, which I think is really the way to do it. And so we know these folks make real and positive impacts every day. And to each of them, you know, we know you shine like stars in your community and the things that you do. So these awards, we're going to go through 6 individuals who your peers have nominated, and we're going to go ahead and start with our Outreach Leader Award winner. And I'm going to ask Alpha Project's Krishana Honeycutt to join me. Where are you, Krishana? There you are. One of our first award winners last year, right? And she is going to help us announce who is winning this award and give us a little comments about that. Thank you.
Hello, guys. All right, this guy that I'm gonna talk about today, I've been working with for about 6 years, 6 great years. So I'm thrilled to share my heartfelt congratulations to my friend and colleague Craig for being honored as the Outreach Leader of the Year. He was my first outreach partner, and I got to really know him, and during that time I witnessed his unwavering commitment to serving those experiencing homelessness in our community. When we first started working together, Craig and I connected on our life experiences, those challenges we've gone through, and the second chance that the Alpha Project provided us after those experiences. I'm so proud of Craig and who he's become and who he's helped me become. Craig's dedication and impact in this role is truly commendable, and I would like to highlight every single key reason why he is not only an exceptional outreach worker, but also a deserving recipient of this year's award. Craig's compassion for those experiencing homelessness in our community is boundless, and his ability to connect with individuals on a personal level and to treat each person with the dignity and respect that they deserve sets him apart from everyone else. Craig's genuine care is a guiding light in the often challenging and complex landscape of outreach work. Craig consistently demonstrates an extraordinary knack for finding innovative solutions to multifaceted challenges faced by those we serve. He's very empathetic, and one of the most remarkable qualities is his communication style. Those of you that know Craig, he talks very calm at all times, and he can change the energy in any room that he's in. He has trust and openness. This is not just a job for Craig. Craig is a passionate advocate for the homeless, and his tireless efforts to raise awareness, challenging stereotypes, and advocate for systematic change have contributed significantly to his more compassionate, understanding community. Craig is an inspiring team player, and his leadership style creates a positive and cohesive work environment. It is a pleasure to work with Craig, and I'm personally glad to know him and get to see him every day and laugh with him every day. Congratulations, Craig.
So Craig, we have a couple, not only do we have an award and a blanket from Bob, we also have recognition from Senator Tony Atkins and from Supervisor Norman Vargas. Well deserved. Yeah, let's do a photo right now. We'll do a picture right here and then we'll give you, say some words.
Thank you. Thank you, Premier. Bear with me on this. All right.
You got it. You got it.
Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, I want to say thank God, man, because without him, none of this is possible. Bear with me because I don't do public speaking. This is an absolute honor to be even nominated for this award, let alone awarded this. So thank everybody for making this possible. Secondly, I would like to thank Alpha Project in its entirety, Bob and Karen, for their consistent support and direction. I want to thank my outstanding outreach team, because without them, I couldn't do what I do as well. They put up with me on a daily basis, and I appreciate that. I have to thank my family, because, of course, without their understanding and guidance, of course, this would be difficult as well. Last and certainly not least, I got to thank everybody in this room, man. You guys are amazing, and I know a lot of you personally, and you guys helped me get to where we're at today. All of the organizations that I'm so blessed to have at my fingertips to help the people that we are so graciously trying to serve, our unsheltered population. You all deserve this award as much as I do, if not more, so thank you. I appreciate all of you.
Those of us who know and work with Craig, that gentle giant, I don't know if we're going to make it through all the awards. I got this. I got this. All right, love, it's you.
All right. Next is our Community Advocate Award. And to present this award, I'd like to call up Rebecca Nussbaum from Community Resource Center.
Good afternoon. As I stated, my name is Rebecca Nussbaum, and I serve as the Chief Program Officer at Community Resource Center. And it is my absolute pleasure to stand before you today to introduce someone whose dedication and passion has really been a beacon of hope for those in need. I have had the fortune of knowing Miranda Chavez, and have worked alongside her for over 10 years. And I have witnessed her be an advocate for her clients, her direct service staff, and for our field. With over 15 years of direct services, she serves as a remarkable advocate for individuals and families experiencing hunger and homelessness in our community. Her relentless pursuit of equity, compassion, and innovative solutions has not only transformed our organization, but has touched countless lives in our community. During the time that I have worked with her, she has grown her team from 4 to 15, expanding programs and services in North County and really multiplying our impact. Over the years, she has participated in ensuring that thousands of individuals are housed or stay housed and are served with dignity and respect. Thousands, Miranda. She is part of a group that Ian referred to yesterday that got into this work before COVID and was crazy enough to stay and sustain through and beyond the pandemic, even when many of us were stretched to our limits. She has coordinated the North Coastal branch of the Interfaith Shelter Network, and for 5 years has served as the co-chair for the Alliance for Regional Solutions Bridge to Housing Committee. She is committed to best practice and was also a part of the group that developed RTFH's system-wide operating standards for rapid rehousing. Her leadership has been acknowledged at the state level as well, and she was recognized as the 2021 Woman of Impact of the field of Health and Human Services by the 76th Assembly District and was the 2023 recipient of Carlsbad's 40 Under 40. Carlsbad. She is genuine, authentic, and speaks with truth and care, whether it is to a politician while advocating for homeless services at Capitol Hill, as she did this summer, or if she's speaking with an individual who has come for services on their worst day. This person, Miranda, is a true champion of change, a compassionate advocate, and I have the fortune of calling her a dear friend. And I couldn't think of anybody more deserving of this award. Congratulations, Miranda.
Okay. Hi. Hey. Okay, so I have 2 papers here, but I'm not going to read all of it because no one has time for this. It's been a long 2 days. So this recognition is more than just a personal achievement, but it really speaks to the fact that the transformative power of advocacy and speaking truth to power changes things, right? Because if advocacy did nothing, I wouldn't need this award and it wouldn't need to be here. And so I think that is one of the most important parts. In this season of my work, every space that I go into, everybody that I talk to, I'm always talking about the folks that we serve, right? Folks that are experiencing homelessness, and that will never change. But in this season of my work, I think one of the most important groups that I'm looking at are our direct service professionals. So when I get mad, and if you know me, that happens sometimes, and then that's like when all this stuff gets done. But I also like lists. So I took an opportunity to write down, when you have a case manager, you don't just get a case manager. You get a babysitter, you get a pet sitter, you get a janitor, you get a mover, you get a mental health clinician, for better or worse. Sometimes we are mental health clinicians for each other. You get an outreach worker, an advertising aide, a grief counselor, you get, I think I said janitor, a dietitian, a conflict mediator, an accountant, a transportation coordinator, all of these things, right? So I know there's funders in the room, and I know that there's providers in the room. And I just want to remind you that when someone gives you a budget and it has a line item that offers the opportunity for direct service staff to make a living wage, let them put it in there. And if you need to you want to take one of these, I will, one of these for you, and I will be happy to tell you at any moment. We'll remind you of all of the bargain. We want to save money, right? That's all of our funding. We're really, really horrible at it because we have case managers that are doing all of this every day, blood, sweat, and tears. So what advocate would I be if I didn't get up here and advocate? So thank you.
Oh, Miranda. Miranda and I have done city council meetings together. We have done a number of advocate things. And the thing I love about Miranda is she cannot sit still or be quiet. Because that's the people we need and I want at a city council meeting. So thank you, Miranda. All right, up next is our Lived Experience Voice Award, one of the most important ones that we give. So I'm going to ask Crystal from YMCA, the Vice President of Youth and Family Services, to come up and join me. I saw you, Crystal. Where are you? Oh, get on up here.
Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh. Hi. I'm going to be fast. Yeah, right? Okay. If you know him, you love him, right? And you're friends with him. If you've met him at a community meeting one time or on the street, you're friends with him, right? If you've met him in a Zoom meeting, you're friends with him. Yeah. If you have talked to him on the phone, you're friends with him. If you've texted him one time, you're friends with him. If you haven't yet met David Baker, you're a friend of his, even if you've yet to meet him. David is one of the top 10 humans on the entire planet that I've ever met in my life. Our YMCA and the San Diego Youth Homelessness Consortium is so humbled and honored that he chooses to work with us every day. And if you know him, you know he has a lot of choices about where he can work. He does. He absolutely does. I'm beyond proud of the work that he's done alongside young people with lived expertise to evolve and enhance the supports for young people experiencing housing instability. He has led the development of our region's coordinated community plan, and even more importantly, he has helped to develop the most effective and human-centered approach to serving young people across the entire region alongside our collaborative partners through the Housing Our Youth project. So huge round of applause for that. It's a huge, huge, huge feat. He's recognized nationally and locally. He's famous, legitimately, for his efforts and his thought leadership. He is someone who will continue to push the envelope, innovate the work, and he'll bring heart and soul to every space he's in every single day. He's a disruptor in all the best ways. Round of applause for that. And we're so, so, so grateful he does this every day. Congrats, David.
So we do.
We're going to take a quick photo. Can I hold this? Or shall I? Sorry, Bob.
There you go.
Never looking right. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
That's Dan.
Awesome.
He's from
Make some noise for Dan Cruz, y'all. It's our media guy. He's always getting the good angles. Wowzers. I don't even know what to say besides thank you to so many people in this room. I've got so many thank yous. We'd be here until tomorrow if I got into it, so I'll just do a couple names. Tamara, come here, Tamara, if you don't mind, could you come here and give... This is somebody who has stood right next to me on some of the days where lived experience wasn't necessarily as welcomed. This is somebody who has brought me to every single table that she's had a seat at. Make some noise for that, y'all, because it ain't easy. It ain't easy. When we talk about lived experience, I think sometimes it becomes like a buzzword. And I think a lot of people in this room understand what lived experience is. Something that we bring to the table, something that we introduce to show the people that we serve, I may be similar to you. There may be something in you that I also see in me, right? And as I look around this room, and I see all these smiling faces looking back at me, I want y'all to know I see something in you that I see in myself. And like Kristen mentioned, if I met you one time, we're locked in. Oh, y'all know what's about to come next. There's a little thing that I like to do, y'all. If y'all don't mind to indulge me, this is just a little sign of solidarity that I like to do. Go ahead and put up a peace sign for me if you can. Just 2 fingers in the air, y'all. Go ahead and cross those fingers together. For some people, this is a sign of hope. For some people, this is a sign of faith. Go ahead and put it over your heart, y'all, if you don't mind. I think for everyone in this room, it means that we're going to stay locked in and committed in our mission to making the world a better place. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I do bring David to everything that I possibly can, because you can't love that more in the room to bring us to what's really important. All right, let's see, where are we at? I think it's you.
All right. Our fourth award of the evening is for Program Staff Award. Helping us honor this award is Paul Delizio, Director of Coordinated Services for Father Joe's Villages.
I've got great news. We housed a cat today. I realized that Jessie was a much better person than I am when we sat one day and we were talking about our favorite drive-thrus, and she was talking about a gentleman that sat at the drive-thru she went to every day, well, not every day, every day, and would ask for food or other things. And I, as a social worker, thought, oh yeah, you do the social worker line. You say, oh, we can help you with housing, or I got something in my car I can give you. She just asked him what he wanted. She just asked him what he needed and created a relationship with him to help him in the future. We housed a cat today. We got a call, literally I was at the village, at the day center, about an hour ago. No, I guess I thought it was gonna be an hour ago, but we had some politicians speaking, so it was about 2 hours ago. About a woman who was outside and couldn't find shelter because she had a cat with her. Of the millions of things that Jessie has done to help our clients and our staff, her work with our families and our clients with pets really stands out. Who here believes that individuals with pets should be allowed in shelter? There's a multitude of individuals right now living in our shelters because of the work Jessie has done, literally writing the book and advocating for allowing pets in shelters. And it's not easy. It's not just saying, hey, we should allow pets in shelters. It's writing the policies and procedures that allow that to happen, because it's not easy. It's finding the money to pay for the supplies, because these aren't service support animals. These aren't assistant animals. They can stay in the shelter without the owners there. So we need crates, we need supplies. We have now 2 dog parks in our shelter because of Jessie. She raised the money to make this happen. So anybody who has a pet right now, thank you for if we need the services, we can go somewhere with our furry friends. I got that call about an hour, 2 hours ago of that woman, a person who we all run into, who we say, hey, this person wouldn't survive on the streets tonight. We need to find this person shelter right now. And they had a cat. And that person right now has a place to stay because of Jessie. Thank you, Jessie, from all the pet owners, all the families, and everybody in San Diego.
Oh, that's smart. I should have opened these.
All righty. Hey, everybody. Hello. So I received two job offers the same day in March of 2010. The first call was from the San Diego Humane Society to work in their kitten nursery. And the second call later that afternoon was to work in residential services at Father Joe's Villages. So you might have guessed, I love animals. I also love kids, and so this wasn't an easy decision to make, but the kitten nursery job was seasonal, and so I chose the job at Father Joe's, and here I am, nearly 14 years later. Thank you. Those of you that do this work and who work in programs know how heavy and hard the work can be. And there are plenty of nights when I get in my car and I think, well, I really should have picked the kittens. What did I do? But truly learning and serving at Father Joe's Villages and alongside this community of amazing and heart-led providers is the greatest privilege of my professional life. I work for an employer that makes me feel treasured and that prioritizes staff empowerment and innovation, like co-sheltering, because pets are family members and pets save lives and pets should be inside with their owners. I have a boss, Ruth, who leads with her heart and listens and encourages us to do whatever it takes to stay client-centered, and who says what she means and follows through on her word. I have a team, oh, you're gonna make me cry, who inspires me daily with your advocacy, your creativity, your courage to dream big. I can't get enough of you guys, like, oh, you're so yummy, I just love you so much. And I have 300 to 400 teammates at Father Joe's that have a shared vision and that give their all to roll up their sleeves every single day to serve this community and to do the right thing and somehow find a way to make it fun and to bring the love and light into the work that we do so that we all can come back and rebuild ourselves. And I can't stop without acknowledging my family that's here, Mackenzie and Jeremy. Who you do this work with me. It's been 14 years of late night calls, interrupted weekend plans, holidays, so many events that I've signed you guys up for and made you volunteer at. You listen to me lament over data and deadlines and broken reports and to-do lists, and you build me back up when I feel like I'm not doing enough, because there's never enough for us to be able to offer. And so your support means everything to me, and I love you guys so much. So thank you, RTFH, for this recognition, this opportunity. It's really an honor, and I'm shaking so bad because I'm just so excited. Thank you so much.
All right. Bob and I are hanging in here, barely.
She's doing the Lord's work.
Yes. All right. Our next one is for our housing team member. And to help us present the award is Rosie, I'm going to totally get the last name wrong, but Marisa, does that sound right? From Jamboree Housing? Come correct me, sweetie. Come on up here.
Hello everyone, my name is Rosie Balutz and I'm with Jamboree Housing, and it's a true honor to get to help to present this award to Hazel Flores. Is everyone able to hear me well? Okay. Hazel's experience of running, maintaining, and coordinating every aspect of premium PSH properties is outstanding. Her dedication to residents, her open communication, and immediate problem-solving skills have created an environment where residents are forthcoming and open to living in harmony. Before the opening of Milejo Village, there were some construction delays causing move-ins to be postponed. Hazel managed to recertify residents multiple times in a timely manner, allowing residents to move in soon after the property was opened. With Hazel's efforts, determination, and consistency, Milejo Village is now at 98% occupancy and soon to reach 100% occupancy. Residents of Milejo have expressed their heightened gratitude for Hazel's hard work and ability to quickly find solutions. For these reasons and many more, she certainly deserved this award, and it's a true honor to get to work alongside with her. Congratulations, Hazel.
Sorry. I'm a gentle giant too. First, I wanted to thank those who nominated for me. This is honestly I'm very honored to be here and to have even been nominated, period. I just was inspired to share a little bit about myself. When I was in my early 20s, I hit a very low in my life, and I was a single mother. And I just remember this one moment. I went to go ask for help at Chicano Federation, and it was a truly trying moment for me. But luckily, I had a support system. I had family, a few friends that helped me along the way. Cynthia Hernandez and her mother, who's my mentor. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. But truly, they have encouraged me. They have helped me in this journey. They brought me into property management, but my first PSH property was Valley Vista. If anybody knows of Valley Vista. It was a very rough and challenging time, definitely. Lots of experience, a lot of growing. And I truly, as difficult as it was, as many emergency calls and on and off alarms at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, in the morning when I saw my residents, I was happy to be there. I was happy to be part of that change and to see those success stories because I saw myself in them. And it healed a part of me that I want to continue working on. And I want to make sure that compassion, there's so much compassion still that is left in this world and needs to be spread more often. Thank you.
All right, we are at the very last one. Thank you all for staying and supporting each other in this. Our final award tonight is the Standout Intake Shelter Team Member. And we do the shelter one last because it is for many the beginning. And so to help present this award, we'll bring up Susan Reeder from VVSD.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Susan. I'm the Senior Director of Clinical Services at VVSD. I'm a little emotional. Jessie was my supervisor for many years, so it's nice to see her win this, and now I get to present this to one of my amazing staff members. So Dr. Ashley walked into my life about a year ago. From the minute we first met her, we knew she'd be a great fit on a Zoom interview. She had so much passion and was so motivated. She knew nothing about homelessness. She didn't know much about substance use or mental health, but she already had a PhD and she was working on her PsyD, and we're like, she really wants to come work with us, and we were so excited. She was everything we needed for the VVSD to help our veterans and also for our expanding drug Medi-Cal program. Ashley is just a life learner. She jumps right in. Her attitude's amazing. From day one, she hit the ground running. Even today at lunch, she was out making calls. She has a great relationship with all the crises houses, the hospitals, the justice system, other treatment providers. She's always coming in my office 20 times a day to align with me and our manager over things and what we should do with clients. She has a compassion and empathy toward the homeless population like few I have seen in my 30 years in this field. She always wants to tell the clients that she's the first person they meet, and it's the most important relationship. She has a clinical ability to assess people, and if they're not appropriate for us, she compassionately gives them a warm handoff to another agency that can better suit their needs. She is a champion for our population, And she always is thinking about the individual. She cares so much. She goes above and beyond for our folks, from everything to spending days with folks all day long, helping them to get to another provider if needed. She has built our census at VVSD while also making sure the clients are the best fit and we are the appropriate place. And she's always happy to refer them to one of you all in our room if you're not. She won Rookie of the Year this year at VVSD, and her colleagues have tremendous amount of respect for her every day. I am honored, and our team is honored. I am honored to be her supervisor and walk alongside her in this work we do every day. So I am so thankful for you, Dr. Ashley, and I'm happy to present you with this award.
Hi, my name is Ashley. You may call me Ashley. I didn't really know what to say, but first I want to say just thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you being here with me as I receive this award. I'm kind of like want to burst with emotion, but I'm going to chill and stay cool. So, I'm pretty new to the field, as Susan said, and so I didn't really know what to say, and so I'll just speak to an image that's coming up for me. And I'm thinking about the movie called 13 Lives, where it's about a young group of soccer players and their soccer coach who go hiking into a cave, and monsoon comes in and the cave floods, and so they're stuck in this cave. And so they ended up being saved. I'll just get to the good part, but only by community stepping in, not only their local community, but the community even outside of the country where this happened. People came in and they couldn't have survived without that help. And so we don't do that. We're not cave divers or anything, but I think about this metaphorically, and the work really feels that way some days, and I certainly can't work in a silo. And so I have a lot of appreciation for Susan, wherever she went. Thank you. And Jeffrey McFall, who's back there. Give a little wave. Thank you. And also one of my other supervisors, Manny Bedard, who is not here. And then, of course, I have a really eager intake team, and Celsius Works. It's a great way to get people going with intakes for staff. If you're looking for little gifts or snacks to give anyone. And then, of course, I love my relationships with partners, crisis houses, hospitals. I have so much appreciation for the care coordination that we do. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it.
Well, Bob, we made it. Right. And thank you for all sticking around. I want to do one thank you for my team at RTFH, and seeing as it's a big team, I'm just going to go through their names really quick. We'll see how I do. Alex F., Alex G., Alice, Alma, we'll see. Amanda, Carrie, Chris, Christian, Jen, Jack now, Jessica, Julia, Jordan, Justin, Kat, Kayla, Lahela, Margaret, Felicia, Queenie, Boston, Susan B., Susan K., Tiana, Tyler, Zach, and Zoe. Thank you. Thank you, our RTFH team, for supporting you. And I'm going to invite our award winner last year, Vanessa, to come up and sing us out today. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, wait. That's for Tamra. That's right. Thank you, everyone. I wrote this song. It's called Just for Today, and I was out there on the streets back in 2014, so I'm glad to be here. Thanks. Who are you to judge me? Who are you to turn me away? In a world where you can be anything, choose love to light the way. Oh God, can you hear me? I've been calling out to you, and I'm lost in a world in the darkness. I need your love to shine on through. And I've fallen down, oh so many times, and I've cried out loud and felt God's light hold me tight. And I know because of His love, oh, I'm standing here alive again inside His arms. I'll be okay just for today. Just for today, I will stay strong when the fear comes rolling in. And just for today, I will tell myself, thank God from within. Oh, broken-hearted people, let God's light shine on you. When the storms of your past, they come on rolling through. Open your heart and be kind to yourself, and above all, oh, forgive. Show love every day, and above all else, shine that light within you again. And I've fallen down, oh, so many times, and I've cried out loud and felt God's light hold me tight. And I know because of His love, oh, I'm standing here alive again inside His arms. I'll be okay. And I've fallen down, oh, so many times, and I've cried out loud and felt God's light hold me tight. And I know because of His love, oh, I'm standing here alive again inside His arms. I'll be okay just for today. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next year.
Next year.